You are now tuning in to How You Holding Up the podcast. Make sure to like, subscribe, and tell a friend.
I said it twice, I hope you got it. I won't say it again. Talk to him. I got a podcast for that. Wanna talk business? I got contracts for that. Hey, 99 problems, got one answer for that. God, it's gonna work out. I drop gems just for that. Yeah, talk to him. I got a podcast for that.
Great day and God bless. You are now tuning in to How You Holding Up, the podcast, and I am your host, Brooklyn Boone. And today, we have special guests all the time, but today is a very, very special guest. My lovely wife and the mother of my children, Miss Kaya. How you doing, baby?
I'm doing great.
How you holding up, I should say?
I'm doing good.
Okay.
No complaints.
Okay. Now, this is a first. But it's a well-needed conversation to be had. Most people know that I'm selective about the information that I share.
Me too.
Yes, very much so. But we're here now, and it's all to give God the glory, and to show the power of unity. Scripture says that what God brings together, no man can separate, right? So we're here. Great day and God bless. Thank you for tuning in. Listen, if you haven't already, I invite you to subscribe to the channel. Also like, drop a comment, and share with another. Let's get back to the convo. So tell us a little bit about you. They hear the accent, I'm pretty sure. Where are you from, Miss Kaya?
I'm from Freeport, Bahamas.
Bahamas in the building?
Yeah.
Okay. What's it like back home in Freeport for those who have never visited?
It's similar to Miami, weather-wise. Yeah, we just don't have as much buildings. It's a lot smaller.
So, Kunk, that's you guys like national treasure. Would you agree?
Of course.
Okay. So, do you think the Kunk is better there in the Bahamas or here in Miami?
Of course. I don't. Some people live here and they claim to make Bahamian dishes. Mm-hmm. I have nothing nice to say about those people.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, it's better. It's better back home for sure.
So what could they improve on as far as trying to implement the Bahamian culture and dish here Americanized, if you will?
I think they should talk to their grandmothers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the best advice I could give.
Yeah. So for those of you guys who can't tell, but we are pregnant with our second child. You care to share the gender?
Yeah.
What?
We're having a girl, another one.
Another one. So we're what? All right. So Celeste is 2.5, we can say, right? Mm-hmm. So is that still considered 2 under 2?
No. I don't know. This is my first time. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see when she gets here.
Okay. So this is Thursday, February 6th?
6th or 5th? 5th.
This is Thursday, February 5th. So we are 39 weeks today. Congratulations to you. Congratulations to us. We're hoping that Genesis is her name, that she comes on February 12th. So we can have that alignment with our daughter Celeste being born on the 12th, but also Genesis being on the 12th.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a lot to look forward to.
Mm-hmm.
Now, being a wife and a mom, how is that life for you? Like, how have you been able to adjust so far?
I mean, I've always been like caring and loving. Mm-hmm. So like that's just natural to me. Mm-hmm. As far as adjusting, I don't think it's much of an adjustment for me. Like, especially being Caribbean, you have to be in the kitchen, you have to clean up, you have to do this, you have to be good in school. So it wasn't really much of an adjustment. It's just taking care of other people, not just myself. Mm-hmm.
So what's been the most challenging thing for you as far as now raising up another human, with Celeste, but now expecting the second one? What's been the most challenge for you?
Trying like I would look at Celeste because I still feel this way. Like I would look at her and be like, she has my face. Like this is a little person that belongs to me.
Yeah.
So now starting over with that, it's like, okay, now I have two little humans.
Yeah. And there you go. So now we already had this discussion time and time again. Now you got to do both of their hairs. In the morning, whenever we go out, whenever they're getting ready
on
for school,
top of mine,
function, on top of yours.
You need to start learning. That's all that means. I need some help.
For the girl dads out there, stay strong. We got this. But the thing is, though, you kept saying we're gonna have a house full of girls, and now you got what you wanted. So now this is.
I still need the help.
Yeah, you're gonna get the help. I'll get them awake and I'll get them dressed, but you definitely got the hair. No, non-negotiable.
No,
I'm not compromising. I'm standing firm on my decision. I do a little ponytail here and there, but the braiding is all you, baby.
Yeah. Okay, that's understandable.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what advice would you give to the young mom, because you are relatively still in your mid-20s, right? What advice, based off your experience, would you give to the young mom, or just the mom in general, who is a first-time mom, right? But now being that you're repeating the same process from the beginning again, what encouragement would you give to that mom trying to keep it together? This is the first child, there's no manual, rule books, or scripts. And if there are, it's different in reality versus reading it and hoping to expect what you've read about.
My advice is you could listen to the opinions and the advice of other people, but at the end of the day, you know your child. So just stick to you knowing your child, and I think it's going to be okay.
Yeah, I think so too. You mentioned school earlier. What was school like for you back in the Bahamas? For like what y'all would call an elementary school, we call it primary school back home. So for most of my primary years, I was bullied a lot. And I think that stopped around like 6th grade. And then 7th to 12th, it was just figuring out who my friends are, really. Yeah. Now, what kind of bullying took place? Because it's different. Like, now they have viral bullying on social media because it's so prominent in this day and age. What kind of bullying did you experience?
I would just say bad talking. Like, thinking about it now, I used to get bullied for things that I can't change. Like, I have big eyes.
Beautiful big eyes.
Right. And I know that now, but in that moment, being a young girl, your friends are your world. So if you don't have no friends, it's like you don't have a world. So I just always felt alone because I just didn't have friends. So yeah.
Do you think that might have translated to adulthood, or did that stay in the past?
Yeah. I think being bullied definitely changed who I am. I don't know if it's for the better or worse, but I definitely came out stronger because of it. And that happened later on, like realizing who I am. But yeah, in that moment, it broke me. Yeah.
So from what I just heard and from what I know, I would definitely say for the better, right? Even though in that moment it was very challenging. I too was bullied when I was younger, but I also was a bully.
Oh.
So
I never got a chance to be the bully.
No, but looking back at it now, it's no fun, because now I'm a lot more empathetic, because I understand. I was very small in school, like up until high school. Like after I graduated high school and then I joined the military, got that basic training, working out buffed up, having a regimen and being consistent in that training. I was like, wow, I never thought that I would reach this growth spurt. And in school for me, like elementary school, right, primary school as you consider it, there were times where my friends who were my world, we would joke on people and isolate them and just follow the crowd, and thinking about it now, and especially having children, it's like I wouldn't want them or anybody else to experience that, because I know how detrimental that can be to one's self-esteem, and they can be traumatized by that.
Mm-hmm. That's facts.
Yeah. So at what age did you come over to Miami?
Well, I came over in college, so I was 18.
Okay.
Yeah.
What'd you study?
Okay, so I started because my parents wanted me to take computer science.
Mm-hmm.
And I did one course of computer science, and I was like, this is not it. Not that, no, I always say, like, I'm a student, I love to learn. But with that professor, he would just like give you handouts and just sit there and be like, if you have any questions, ask. Like, I have every question. Like, just teach, please.
So to the professors, sorry to cut you off, baby, but to the professors out there, invest in the children that you're teaching, because the more you invest in them, the more you get a return on that investment. You get children who are successful, children who enjoy being in your presence, children who enjoy listening and watching you teach, doing what you applied for. You applied to do this job. Nobody forced you to do it. So just take that into consideration and actually, take the time to embrace your role, because you are very necessary. My children, our children rely on, your profession. So I know it's tough though. So just, try to do better for us.
Yeah. So with him giving handouts, like, I still passed the class if you consider C a pass, but
in Miami, that's definitely a passive flying colors.
That was like one of my first C's though.
Oh man.
Yeah. So I was like, and even after I passed the class, he would have been my professor for the following class after that. So I was like, I am not gonna do this.
Okay.
So I switched to business administration.
Okay.
And that's what I graduated with my bachelor's in.
Hey. Yeah. Credentials is real. Now, for most people, right? Because I had my fair share of my college experience. I did a half a semester. No, but life at the time, man, I wanted to complete school because I wanted to be an architect. I wanted to play college football, and I also wanted to be an architect, right? That was my plan, and I was still in the military, but I didn't really have structure growing up as far as, well, what do I want to do? How can I take actionable steps? What are my plans? What are my goals? It was just, all right, well, the time is approaching, so what are you going to do? And because I didn't take SATs or ACTs, I had this one recruiter. I was taking night classes because I moved from New York to Miami in my junior year in high school, and you know this already, but for those of you guys who don't, that transition period was, the school credit systems are different. So while I was a junior, I was still taking sophomore classes, and then when I became a senior, I was still a junior until I passed the criteria and the credentials to get me accredited, right? But nonetheless, I graduated on time, and my recruiter came in one of the night classes. He was from Brooklyn as well. Shout out to at the time Staff Sergeant Alfredo Rivera, cool guy. Thank you for that encouragement, put me in a position to grow and have a form of discipline, right? And also to earn money. So yeah, I had a hefty bonus. 20,000, 17 years old. You couldn't tell me nothing.
That is crazy.
That is crazy. But I received that in the name of Jesus. 20,000 right now, wired to the account somehow, some way. But being a graduate, a bachelor, a bachelor degree holder,
Mm-hmm.
would you say your career after school went as planned?
No. I never been a person that like wanted a regular job. Like I just didn't see that for myself.
Mm-hmm.
But when you, especially being an international student, it is so hard. Like being in college, but also trying to find a job after college, because it's like no one knows the rules. It's rules, but nobody knows it.
It's
So
the fine print.
it's extra fine because nobody knows. So it's really difficult. But yeah, I from graduating with my bachelor's, I went into a security job, which had nothing to do with my degree,
Right.
but I had a good boss that I still keep in contact with.
Shout
So
out to you.
that's like my second mom, honestly.
Right.
But yeah. I mean, it's just it's just trying to find your way, because you have this plan in your head and it don't always go how it's supposed to or how you think it's supposed to.
Yeah.
But just trying to find your way, like even whatever career you end up in, because with security, I could have just get into management from there and like build myself up from there. But it's just trying to find your way in whatever you decide to do.
Okay. Now, is that universal
Yeah.
advice, or is that specifically for international students who are seeking to
That's
further
for
their
everybody.
education? Okay. What specific advice would you give to the international student who is traveling abroad to the U.S., who is looking to further their education and also their profession?
My opinion on that, I think, is controversial because I don't think they should. Just because, you know, the way the world going nowadays.
Yeah.
I don't want to say stay home, but that's what I lean in more towards. Like, just stay home.
All in all.
Yeah.
So what was your college experience like?
I had one friend.
Okay, shout out to you. Some don't have any.
No, I joined a sorority in my last semester. So
What sorority was that?
I'm an AKA.
Okay.
Don't.
All right.
So yeah, I got my sisters from there, and we've been locked in ever since.
Okay.
So yeah, but most of my first 3 years, it was just me and my one friend.
Okay. Okay. Now, life as we know it, right? Everyone knows now that you are my wife. You are the mother of my children. What's it like being married to Brooklyn Boone, and how you holding up and everything that it entails? Because, you know, it's challenging, but what's it like for you? What's that experience like?
I see the vision. Like I see you. So I understand where you going, and you know, you always open about your ideas and stuff. And I trust in the Lord, and I trust in you.
Have you always had a relationship with the Lord, with Jesus Christ?
I always knew him, but having a relationship, not really. Not how relationships supposed to be. No.
So what was your introduction?
I would say after graduating college. I was really, really depressed because that one friend that I had died. So I was just alone. And I had to find a job because being an international student, you have like, I think it's 3 months. 3 months after you graduate to find a job, or you have to go home. So I was dilly-dallying for the first 2 months because I just was like so depressed. And then in that last month, I just was like, you know what, God, I really don't care what happens to me, but I give you control.
Mm-hmm.
And, he made it happen for me with getting a job, actually getting 2 jobs in the same day. So, yeah, I think in that moment, I realized that I don't have control over my life.
Mm-hmm.
And when you give that to the Lord, that's when he works. That's when you see him working in your life.
Now, for you, what does giving up control look like? Because some can say it looks like this for them. Some can say it looks like
I
that.
just didn't care.
Okay.
I just like, Lord, this is your problem.
Mm-hmm.
You fixed it.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it.
So that's fully surrender.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So now, did that depression stem from not having a job in addition to, the timeline of you having to return back home if things didn't pan out with employment, or from your friend dying?
All of that.
Wow.
Yeah.
How'd you manage?
I have my sisters.
Mm-hmm.
They help me a lot, actually. And that's it. Just my sisters and God.
So you would say community plays a big part.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say everyone needs community?
Yes.
Okay. How'd your friend pass?
So he was sick.
Mm-hmm.
Do I go into detail?
Sure, if you see it fit.
Yeah, he was sick when he passed away.
Okay. Is that all?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you and I met, right? You and I met, and it was a time where I really don't go out and celebrate during New Year's, right? Because at the time I was typically working at the job that I was working, picking up overnight shifts, et cetera, et cetera. So I didn't have the opportunity. And even before then, I just never really found it intriguing enough to say, okay, I'm going to go out at a club, lounge, bar, whatever, and bring in the New Year somewhere. Like, being from New York, most people would say, you should go watch the ball drop. No, I should not. You've never been to 42nd during New Year's and having to deal with all that traffic, right? But I decided to go out with one of my coworkers at the time and a couple of his friends, and then you and I met, right? I was chilling, having a good time, and you were staring me down, and then I noticed you, and I was like, "What this girl keep looking
That
at me
is
for?"
not how it happened.
No?
At all. And you know it.
I bought you a drink, so you probably
No,
didn't
you
feel
did
it.
not.
You probably-
You did not. I was walking inside, me and one of my sisters, and you was walking towards us.
So how's your day going for you? Because I don't think this is leading to nowhere positive.
Anyway, you was walking towards us, and I saw you stop, but I was looking through the
See,
corner
you
of my
saw
eye.
me stop.
Yeah, because you was already
I
staring
was
at me.
I was minding my business.
You were already staring at me at that
Okay.
point. So yeah, I remember you stopped me and was like, I can't remember what you said. You said your parents never taught you any manners or something like
That's
that.
right. That's right. You said being Caribbean, y'all was raised with manners and learning how to
Yeah,
do the
but
things necessary.
we just was staring at each other.
Okay.
You as a man, you supposed to talk.
Okay. Okay. So our initial introduction was a staring contest.
Yeah.
Who blinked first?
Probably me.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I do have quite the intense stare when it's necessary. So how did we get here? This is 2023. We are now in February 2026. How did we get here? What has that journey been like for you?
It's been a lot of firsts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Care to share?
Well, first kid,
For sure.
first marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, definitely a lot of firsts. And I'll tell you, for me, being a father, being a husband it's extremely rewarding. And I'll speak from my experience because that's the only way I can ever speak about anything. But you have to really, and this is why God is so important in my life, in our life, if you will. Learning or unlearning the patterns of who you were plays a massive part when it comes to having a family, because for me, I didn't have the best patience, and I really like, I can tell you guys firsthand. You can kind of attest to it, but you don't know to the full how far of an extent of patient or impatient I was. And just having a child, right? And some parents, some of you guys know that, your kid, like you said, you got to know your kid. Some kids cry a lot. Some kids cry extremely loud. So that can play a part on, the patient factor, and then trying to get sleep and trying to do this and trying to do that.
Trying to do anything.
Trying to do anything, right? And being the first time, every kid is different, so you really have to hone in and do the work on yourself so you can be the best example for them, for that child, for that son or daughter that you have helped conceive and brought into this world, and for me it's been a roller coaster. But now looking at our baby girl number one is so rewarding. She's bold, she's brilliant, she's beautiful, she looks like me. She's very talented, very charismatic, she's very, very attentive, she's social, she's outgoing, I don't want to toot my own horn, but she, like, if I'm looking at it from that scope, like from me knowing who I was as a kid to even now me as an adult, I can see the resemblance. And I've been asking people for the longest while, like, what is it? How does it feel to look at your child and either see your features in them or your personality? And some people couldn't answer. And now having to experience it on my own, it's like, this is...
Your kid is really a reflection of you. The good and the bad.
The good and the bad. Oh, so, my gosh.
Yeah. That will show you, like, okay, this is me.
Yeah.
Like, this is what I need to change, kind of thing.
So what have you seen in baby girl that you say either I need to change or I can improve on that, or I like that she got this from me?
I don't know. She sings.
She does, and she sings great. Her memory is impeccable.
She is so bold and outgoing, and I don't feel like I was ever that. So I'm happy to see that in her, and I just hope that me as her mother, like, can continue to build her up in that way.
You will.
Because I don't feel like I've ever been bold, So yeah, I love that in her.
But speaking of bold, one of the main reasons that we are here today, that we are gathered here today, is because, upon us getting to know each other, it was difficult, to say the least, right? You shared earlier in the conversation, briefly about what you were experiencing after, college and things of that nature. And, it was tough. It was tough to an extent, right? And I'll let you expound on that, and just, kind of share why I say that it was tough, and then, we'll get into that.
So with my friend that passed away, he was a guy, and so I met him. I knew him before college because he was also a Bahamian. So he was like at home, so I knew of him. But we officially met in college. And so we were friends for like a year, and then we started a relationship, and my heart racing.
Okay.
Yeah, so what I didn't know was that what I didn't know was that he wasn't honest about himself. He lived a double life, essentially. And through that relationship, I contracted HIV. And yeah, and I found out because I went to the hospital. He didn't even tell me, actually. I found out because I went to the hospital for a bladder infection, and it was like, you want to get tested? And I was like, yeah, okay. And yeah, that's how I found out. So, yeah.
You said he was living a double life. What kind of double life was that?
A life that he never told me about, clearly. But I mean, it had to been that, because how could you just, have that disease, and we been together, I think 2 years at that point, before I even found out about it. So obviously he knew that he had it prior to me. So yeah.
What was that like? Like, take us through receiving that news and how you're even here today, because that's nothing to be taken lightly, right? He obviously passed from it, but you're obviously still here. So how did you manage to, I don't want to say cope with that, but how did you manage that when managing this?
I still have my days, but how I manage now is I look at you and I look at Celeste, and I'm just grateful that I'm still here. It wasn't like that in the beginning. I was like, Lord, take me now. But yeah, I feel grateful that I'm still able to be here and to still have healthy kids and have a healthy husband. And I feel like every day that I am still here, I still have a purpose in life. Like, God isn't done with me. So that's how I cope.
You know personally that I say this I don't know how many times a day or how many days out the week I say this, but I speak from myself that everything that has happened to me happened for others. Why do you think, I mean, we can never question why, and we may not even know the reason, because God is, his wisdom is infinite. We'll never be able to figure it out in its entirety, but why do you think he has allowed you to still remain in a healthier state?
Because he wants me to talk to him. I still figuring that out. Like, honestly, finding out about it, I literally did not want to be here. I just didn't have the courage to, But I'm still figuring it out. I know I'm here for something. I'm just waiting for him to reveal that to me. I think this is a step in the right direction, though. Being here, talking about it. Because I am not the only one going through something like this. And I know how that could feel, being in that position and not having anyone to talk to about it. So that's a start. Just talking to people who feel alone and letting them know that they are not alone, that you are loved. Like, and I realized that because I shared my status with my friends, not all of them, but most of them ish. And just the love that I received from that, it was like, okay, I have people in my corner still. So yeah.
Hearing that was tough for me. So I can only imagine for you how that must have really brought you down. And God is just, he's so strict. He just, you'll never be able to figure him out as a whole. Never. And I have to be honest, because I am. It was extremely hard for me to deal with that, because it wasn't a formal conversation that we had about, hey, this is my status, et cetera, et cetera. And how I found out wasn't an ideal, it wasn't an ideal way to inform somebody of something like that. So what was your thought process before, I kind of share my perspective on the matter?
My thought process as to what?
As far as like us meeting and, how it got to the point of me finding out, et cetera, et cetera.
I always knew that. I mean, okay, so after he died, I just was in my room and depressed, and I thought that my life was over. So I never thought about how I would share it with a future partner. But I knew that if I wanted to be in a relationship, that I would have to share. It's hard to talk about, because it's people and their opinions and the stigma around it. It's like you don't know how that person will react to it. So yeah, it's just about, I didn't know that we would have a future together, but you had to know.
Yeah. Now, many people know that I have a documentary out, have music out. You've done your research on who is this guy I'm talking to. I just met him, et cetera, et cetera. With my music and also just the content of media and creation that I put out for people to see, right? I believe that is part of my purpose. It's a gift and talent and skill that God gave me. With viewing my documentary and also listening to my music, specifically Addiction, what was, share with us your thoughts on hearing my music and also seeing my documentary, and me discussing my biological mom dying from AIDS, and also my brother us finding our oldest brother on my mom's side decomposed in his apartment, and being a homosexual who contracted both HIV and AIDS, and just dying from that.
So I don't think when we first met, yeah, I did do my research, but I don't think I actually went into depth with finding that out in that moment. But I know the first time we spoke on the phone, you did bring it up, and I was like, okay, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe what?
I don't know. Maybe because before I met you, I want to say in November or December of 2022, I went to the Lord again and I was like, Lord, send me someone who values me. So, and then I met you shortly after. So, hearing that from you, I was like, is this from the Lord? So, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So for me, I just kind of gave you guys a synopsis of, my upbringing and what I've experienced. And you and I talk about it quite often, right? When I found out, I seen a prescription on your dresser, and I was like, "What's that?" I never minded. And then someone said, "Look at it again." I looked at it. I looked at the name of it, and he said, "Let me Google it." I Googled it. I thought I was tripping. I was like, "Nah," because somebody like I didn't know how to bring it up to you, because I'm like, if that was true, then a person should tell a person that this is what's up with them, right? And I ignored it because that was my mindset, and then I was kind of battling with thoughts, and then I don't want to say I forgot about it, but I never minded it, and we found out that we were pregnant with Celeste, and then the phone call took place, and just how it went about, and I was like, it was just something sketchy about, like, just the whole movement. And after dragging it out of you, you told me, and my reaction was, I could have seriously hurt you. Like that's I was in such a frenzy, like, nah, ain't no way, because I just needed you to get out my presence first and foremost, right? And it was like, and so in Addiction, the song, I said, I spoke about my mom having AIDS, but then also the documentary, and also you and I having conversations, and same thing with my brother. And I was like, no, ain't no way in heck this is happening to me. Like, how? And I just couldn't fathom it. And soon as you left, I don't know how far you got, but probably like 2 or 3 minutes later, I heard God loud and clear, call her back. I said, what? So I called you back. And when I called you back, I was like, where you, like, it was one of those angel over here, devil over here. Like, am I hearing what? And he was like, where you at? I want to meet you. Because I instantly thought about my brother who was dead in his apartment for over a month before we found him. And I was like, I don't know what this girl is going to do to herself. I don't know if she's going to harm herself. And then I thought about my mother. Then I'm like, yo, the same thing happened. She found out that she had AIDS by the guy she received it from had a pill bottle in his medicine cabinet, and this was in the 90s. This was after she had me, so like in the 90s or whatever, like early to mid 90s. And I'm like, I never asked about my mother. Like these were information that was told to me, and I'm like, how is that the same thing that just happened to me happened to her? And how is, so I had all type of questions. I'm like, yo, what the, Like I was furious. But God told me to call you back, and we here now. And it was extremely tough because I didn't tell anybody. I didn't tell anybody until I told family 2 years later, which was last year, right? And I don't know, I was just, and this is not me playing victim by any means. This is me because I should have known better. And when I say I should have known better, I should have took initiative to ask the question, what's your status? Let's go get checked. I should have did that for myself, but for us as well. I also should have waited for marriage. I should have, but I was still living in my flesh heavily, right? And so there's a lot of things that I should have done. And maybe the conversation would have been different, but we know that God makes no mistakes. So had that not happened, had I did ask that question, who knows if, I would have given this chance in life to be a father, to be a husband. Who knows if you would have had the chance to be a mother and to be a wife. And who knows if, right?
Mm-hmm.
And for so long, I've kept that as a burden, just trying to hope that I'm being obedient to God's will by staying and forgiving, and slowly but surely, I take these prayer walks and they be long. But it goes to scripture, and Jesus gave himself for all of our burdens, all of our sins. And he forgives us even though we are unworthy of it, but he carries our burdens. So once I found out that I was healthy, Celeste was healthy, and, I said this, and this is recently that this was been made clear to me, like a few months ago, but if we're healthy, if you're healthy, right? If Jesus carried my burdens, if he carried my sins, then in our baptism, and praise God, we were both baptized on the same day last year, 420. And my speech was, Jesus, make me more like you and less of me. And that's what I was pertaining to, like just carrying these things and learning how to forgive people and learning how to walk in the power and authority and the image of God. So when people see me, when they hear me, et cetera, they see you. And I think that he was using this as a prime example. And if you're watching, forgiveness is a choice. I know depending on the situation, the circumstance, it can be tough, and we may even deem it as unwarranted. But forgiveness is a gift that God has given us through Jesus Christ, which is why he is our Lord and Savior. Because if God didn't forgive us, he wouldn't have sent his one and only begotten son, Jesus Christ. And I'm not here to condemn you, or anyone for that matter. But what I will say is, to keep it short, you gotta learn to forgive people, man. But not just forgiving, but try not to put yourself in a position to not having to be asked for forgiveness. Because if you walk uprightly and righteous as scripture tells us to do, and then there's no reason for us to have to seek forgiveness from a person, especially if you know that you're doing everything in your power to be an upright and a stand-up man or woman. And God is merciful, and the fruit of the Spirit is everything that he lists us to be. And I think that you and I have both exemplified that. It had to happen that way.
You think so?
Think about it. And this is so crazy. I'm like, what are the chances that with my family's history, ancestors now, right? With everything that has happened to them, what are the chances and the odds that I never go out on New Year's to celebrate at a club and I meet you and this happens? And then in the song I say, I know the words to my song. Don't do that. Because you're looking at me like I don't.
You never know.
So it's like I said, I'm here to break the curse. I'm the last. I gotta end it. What are the odds? I'm asking you, like, what are the odds that this happens?
It only could be God. You know, listening to what you say, I think
and I do forgive you, by the way.
Thank you. I do think that being a parent now, you have to have these open conversations with your children. Hey, find out what they got going on. Because I wouldn't, not even just your children, like maybe this being here today is for me to tell someone, you need to ask questions. You need to know what's going on. Because I was never taught anything about sexual education. Like, I mean, my dad tried, but hearing that from a man, it's like,
yeah,
what? And your dad, it's like, oh.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's important to ask questions. It's important to know.
So, with all of that being said, how you holding up?
I'm holding up great. Like I said, it has been hard, but I know because I still here and I have the ability to have my family. I'm just grateful.
Now, I'm grateful that you're grateful. Last year has been difficult. Difficult for me, difficult for you, difficult for us. And some of you guys may know, but it's trying times, man. We lost a lot by by wifey being full-time mom, full-time wife, and me working 2 jobs at the time, and then the Lord instructed me to leave both, and that kind of put us in some hardship, financial hardship with being evicted, both cars repossessed, et cetera, et cetera. What has that been like for you, like personally? Be honest. You can be honest.
What has that been? Hard. I don't even.
And then finding out we pregnant in the midst of it.
Yeah, that
which
was
is crazy.
Right.
Right.
I don't have another word besides hard as hell.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I just like I say, I trust in the Lord, and I know. I just know. I don't know how I know, but I know that it can only go up from here. So that's what I hold on to for their life.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. She make it sound like it's all good, but it'd be but again, holding on to the word and to the Lord's promises. And that's the beautiful thing about God and about Jesus Christ, is he makes these promises and he fulfills them. Like scripture says, who is he, a man that he should lie? And he seriously, even if he doesn't give a big flash, big bang of, okay, this is it right here, he gives you just enough, the daily bread, the manna, right? He sprinkles it just to give you enough hope. Just hold on, keep going, persevering.
Yeah.
Right? And he just makes ways, man, and it might not be in ways that we expect. I mean, look at the conversation we're having, and we're persevering, You know, that on top of that, it's like, yo, how do you hold up hearing and doing all of it and experiencing and witnessing all of these things, man? And by the grace of God, man, that's my only answer that I have for that.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
January 29th, 2025, after I resigned from my first job, I had a beat. And when I heard that beat, we was in the car at the time. And I heard it. I said, oh, this the one right here. We get in the house probably like 30 minutes later. And I'm in the kitchen. Literally in the kitchen. I don't know if I was cleaning or
I don't know what you was doing in there.
But what was that? Share your experience of what you heard when I say this, because I'm not even gonna go into debt. I'm gonna allow you to do the honors.
It was funny because, like, in my mind, I was like, "This how people is make music." Like, you were in there and you was just mumbling, and I was like, "I don't think this can be a good one." I was like, All
right, so what now? Tell the people, look in your camera and let the people know what song you're talking about that you didn't
Wait,
think.
I don't remember. What's the name of it? On My Time?
No.
Came a Long Way?
No.
Which one was it?
January 29th, 2025. This was last year.
I don't remember what song it was.
Well, we're not moving on until you figure it out, because you should be ashamed of yourself.
I don't know. You know I got pregnancy brain.
Yeah, well, I got time today, so you and your pregnancy brain better figure
Okay,
it out.
it's not On My Time.
Nope.
It's not Came a Long Way.
Nope.
I was about to say Lemon Pepper. What?
I'm glad you know I'm glad you know my music.
I do. I just
You
can't
clearly
remember
don't.
exactly what song that was.
Well, shame on you, because we ain't moving nowhere until you figure it out. So
I could look at my phone.
No, absolutely not. This is embarrassing.
I literally don't remember.
You don't remember?
I really don't. It's the Boshi Moshi song.
That's I'm on time. Come on, you better get it together.
I draw on blanks right now.
January 2025, last year.
Give me a hint.
I gave you a hint. 2025.
I know the song. It's just the title is not coming to me right now. I don't remember.
All right. Well.
Talk to him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Soundwave. How long on that ticker was talking? How long was that ticker talking for? On the time just now before she figured it out.
Bro, when she said the Moshi song.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's no. She was like, she said I'm on time, so she was like, oh, the Moshi song. I'm like, oh, brother.
You know
I
what?
promise. I know all of his music.
Right. You know what? Valentine's Day coming up.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
What?
So yeah, talk to him, right? So talk to him was one of those songs with going through all of this stuff. It was created in, I don't know, why didn't you think it was going to be what it is now?
Because of how you sounded in the kitchen. It was
I just figured it out.
Yeah. I mean, I know that now because
Yeah.
what it turned out to be, but in that moment I was like, I don't think he should.
Right.
Was like, no. Like, it was just a hard no.
For the creators out there, you know what's up, right? For the supporters of the creatives, just let us cook. And I was literally in the kitchen while I was doing this, like really cooking.
I wish I actually had recorded that.
Oh man, that would have been amazing.
Yeah, but then I didn't want to be like, I'm making fun of you, because I wasn't. But it was like, oh,
I'm confident in my craft. Baby.
I know, but I was like, in that moment, it's like,
yeah,
what is
I was
this?
figuring out the flow. I was figuring out the cadence. I was just figuring out if I should do a melody or what. I was in
he
go
was
mode.
definitely figuring it out.
Yeah.
Like,
Actually, during that time, weren't we doing a Daniel fast? Or was that February?
Yeah, it was February, so it was before.
Okay, yeah, so that was literally a few days before. But even the drawing up to that was crazy. Like, because the month prior in December, the tax levy was placed on my account, and that put us back. In addition to and that showcase that I was for sure gonna win, or so I thought, right? Because I'm like, oh yeah, God, this is a sign, right? But from that, and this is how strategic God is. I had to experience that showcase and performing, and like, I'm like, all right, I'm observing it. I'm like, nah, I need a song that's gonna move the crowd, and but stay true to myself and not comp, et cetera, et cetera. And boom, talk to him. You get talk to him was created.
I
through
know
all
it.
of that adversity,
It's just my pregnancy brain.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. So now well, I will hope that you know that I'm a music artist, right? So this segment of How You Holding Up the podcast, this is for those of you guys who may know or may not know that I am a music artist, and we're going to ask questions directly from the titles of my music, right? And the good thing about this segment is I know the titles of my music, so I'm going to be the one asking the questions about it, right?
I know them too.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, you getting pop quiz later on today.
Okay, that's fine.
All right. So now, at what point did you realize you came a long way?
Just going from depression and finding my community in my sisters, for sure. Yeah, they in that moment, like, they gave me life. So I know, like, even sometimes when I have a hard time now, like, I would go to them and you, and yeah, just, and the Lord, for sure, especially in the times that we going through now. Like, yeah, just leaning on my support system. Because I never was that type of person. Like, I was a suffer in silence. Like, I'll come back and show my face when I feeling better kind of person.
Resurface,
yeah. So, just being more open with how I feel. That showed me that I came a long way, because I was never like that.
And that's impressive, because I see the growth, like, day in and day out. I see the growth, right? From you communicating, reaching out to your friends, or even if they decide to reach out to you, but you being attentive to their message or their calls. If you're not busy, of course, because they do know that you're a mom and that you're also a wife as well, right? Know that you're a wife, and you're also a mom, and you're an individual, right? So the progress that you've made from when we met to now, tremendous. If you knew better, what would you have done better?
You have your regrets, but if I changed anything, then I probably wouldn't have what I have today. So as much as it hurt, I just had to go through it to be where I am today. So nothing. Wink, wink.
No, I get that. That's understandable.
Yeah.
Everything happens for a reason, right? At what point did you realize that God is on time?
I would say, well, for one experience for me was, I spoke about being an international student, having to find a job in 3 months and giving it to the Lord in my last month. And it was literally, like, I was going on so many interviews. And, they were still doing, like, Zoom interviews at that time. So it was, like, both in between both, like, going on Zoom, going in person. And it just, so much denials. Like, it was crazy. And I went it was this one day I had an interview. It was in person, and on the way there, I was just crying out to the Lord, and I was listening to this song from Courtney something. It's named I'll Just Say Yes. And I just was crying because I was so tired of going on interviews just to get denied and rejected. So I was listening to that song on the way, and I didn't even know what I was applying for. I just was applying anywhere. Like, so when I got there, it wasn't a business. I mean, it was a business, but it was an employment agency. So she was like, the lady that I spoke to, she was like, oh, they having interviews at this place right now. You could go there. It ain't far, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, okay. I was so over it, you know? So I went, and I was in there begging at that point. I was like, if someone would just give me a chance to prove myself. So yeah, I got out of that interview, and I went to Wendy's and I was sitting in the parking lot, and they called me, the employment agency called me, was like, you got the job. And then not even 5 minutes after, I had got a call from the security job that I had. Because I did that interview a while back, but I didn't hear anything. So I was like, I guess not, you know. So from the security job, they called me and was like, hey, you got the job, we start August 1st. So within 5 minutes, I had 2 jobs when I didn't have none.
One time.
So yeah, that's when I realized, because I think I was like a week or 2 away from having to pack up my things. So yeah.
Okay. Now, this is your chance, your moment to provide the viewer and the listener with an encouraging word. This is your chance to talk to them.
I just want to say, lean on the people that God placed in your life, because it's a reason why they're there, why he sent them. Because I know for me, like, it's so hard to speak to people, but having a community and feeling that love, and no matter what you're going through, and you go to your person or your people and you tell them, this is what I'm going through, and they still accept you, you need to lean on that, because you are loved. Yeah.
What are you most excited looking forward, right? What are you most excited for in this year 2026? Because we're still in the first quarter, we're only in the second month. What are you looking forward to most? Like, what thing are you hopeful for? Like,
I don't know. I would say just continuing to grow as a mother. That's the biggest one for me, because now it's like we starting over. So yeah, just giving my time and my attention to my children and to you, and just, embracing our family.
There you have it, folks. Another special conversation. You've tuned in. Sorry, excuse me, pardon me. I challenge you to ask someone how they're holding up, and mean it. Make it intentional. Build a wall. If you see somebody, if you're walking down the street and you see somebody sitting alone and they're idle, no phone in their hand or whatever the case may be, stop and greet them. Hey, how you doing? How you holding up? What's your name? I'm such and such. Have a genuine conversation. Ask them how they're holding up. Or that person that you've been thinking about that God has placed in your spirit, reach out to them intentionally and share. Hey, listen, you've been on my mind. You've been in my spirit. And I just wanted to check in and see how you holding up. If you guys don't talk often, I know we don't talk often, but just wanted to check in and make sure that you're good. Or even if you aren't good, I just wanted to see how you're holding up. Have that intentional conversation and allow the person the space to speak. Listen, ask the question, and then get out of your way and listen. And even for you, allow yourself, be prudent, be wise, be discerning, because Jesus says, do not cast your pearls unto pigs. So be very careful about who you're opening up to, right? But once you get past the discerning, allow yourself the opportunity to speak with a person. I mean, if I'm here to listen, you can comment, you can follow me on social media, you can send me an email, we'll talk. I have no problem with that, but I challenge you to ask somebody how they're holding up. And in turn, maybe they'll ask you. And even if they don't, be okay with that for the moment. And just ask them. Because if you're listening to this, if you're watching this, you know that it's imperative that we ask somebody that question. And by you knowing and by you asking and taking initiative, you're spreading awareness. So then it becomes a ripple effect, right? So this is us posing the question to find the answers to the questions that aren't being asked. Because if we don't ask, how will a person know? Most people aren't going to just come out and say, oh yeah, I'm dealing with this, or yo, I'm battling this, or I'm struggling with this, or this is going on. No, sadly. Right? So ask them as I ask you, how you holding up? I would love to know. Until next time, thank you for watching. Chicago, Brooklyn, boom. Talk soon. Be blessed. Do well.
I said it twice, I hope you got it. I won't say it again. Talk to him. I got a podcast for that. Wanna talk business? I got contracts for that. Hey, 99 problems, got one answer for that. God, it's gonna work out. I drop gems just for that. Yeah, talk to him. I got a podcast for that. Wanna talk